Commander June Kim stood by the large window of the spaceship, watching as they approached the Lyrian homeworld. The planet glowed with a soft blue light, different from Earth's blue and green. June took a deep breath. As the leader of Earth's first diplomatic mission to the Lyrians, he felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "Commander, we will land in 20 minutes, said Lieutenant Day, checking the ship's controls. "Thank you, Lieutenant. Is everyone ready?" June asked, turning to face his team. 6 other humans made up the diplomatic team. They were scientists, language experts, and military officers. All wore the dark blue uniforms of the Earth Defense Force with pride. "Yes, sir." "Everyone is prepared for the meeting," Day replied. June nodded and looked back at the Lyrian planet. For centuries, the Lyrians had watched Earth from afar. They were an advanced species with technology far beyond human capabilities. 3 months ago, they had finally made contact, inviting humans to visit their world. The ship landed smoothly on a flat platform outside a tall, crystal-like building. As the doors opened, June led his team out. The air was breathable, but had a sweet smell like flowers after rain. 5 Lyrians waited for them. They looked almost human except for their skin, which gave off a soft glow. Their eyes were larger and they stood taller than most humans. They wore simple white clothes that seemed to flow like water. One Lyrian stepped forward. "Welcome to Lyria, Commander Kim. I am Ambassador Nara. We are honored by your visit." Her voice was musical, her Korean perfect. The Lyrians had learned Earth languages by listening to broadcasts over many years. June bowed his head. "The honor is ours, Ambassador. Earth thanks you for this invitation." Ambassador Nara was clearly important among her people. The other Lyrians stayed a step behind her, showing respect. She had silver-blue skin that shimmered in the sunlight and eyes that changed color like opals. "Please, follow me to the hall of meetings," Nara said, gesturing toward the crystal building. As they walked, June noticed Nara watching him. Not just in a diplomatic way, but with personal interest. It made him uncomfortable. Lyrians were known for being emotionally distant and logical. Personal interest was unusual. The hall of meetings was a large room with a round table made of something that looked like glass, but felt warm to touch. Windows showed the beautiful Lyrian landscape, rolling hills with purple plants and floating, silver structures. Ambassador Nara introduced the other Lyrians: Science Director Tai, Security Chief Rin, Cultural Minister Huan, and Medical Officer Jin. All had similar glowing skin, but in different colors. During the meeting, they discussed trade technology sharing and cultural exchange. The Lyrians were especially interested in human art and music, but June kept noticing Nara's eyes on him. At times, she would ask him personal questions, not just diplomatic ones. "Commander Kim, how long have you served in Earth's Defense Forces?" she asked during a break. 15 years, Ambassador," he answered politely. "And do you have a family waiting for your return?" June was surprised by the question. "No, Ambassador. My work keeps me busy." Nara smiled. "I understand dedication to duty. It shapes our lives." Later that evening, the humans were shown to their quarters in a beautiful building with views of Lyria's 3 moons. June met with his team to discuss the day's events. "Did anyone else notice how the ambassador kept watching me?" June asked. Dr. Mina Park, the team's cultural expert, nodded. "Yes, it was obvious, and there's something you should know, Commander. I was speaking with Cultural Minister Huan. He mentioned that Lyrians have a special custom when forming alliances." "What kind of custom?" June asked. "When they decide a species is worthy of alliance, they establish genetic bonds through selective mating. It's their way of showing true commitment to the relationship between worlds." Lieutenant Day's eyes widened. "Are you saying they might choose one of us as a mate?" Dr. Park nodded. "It's possible. It would be considered a great honor in their culture." June frowned. "That's not what we expected. Earth Command said nothing about this." "Maybe they didn't know," said Dr. Park. "The Lyrians are private about many of their customs." The next day brought more meetings and a tour of the Lyrian city. Everything was advanced and beautiful, with buildings that seemed to grow from the ground and vehicles that moved without touching the surface. June noticed other Lyrians watching the human group with interest and whispering among themselves. Some looked disapproving, others curious. During lunch, Security Chief Rin approached June. Unlike Nara's friendly manner, Rin seemed cold. "Commander Kim, I hope you understand the importance of this alliance to both our peoples," Rin said. "Of course," June replied. "Earth values this opportunity. Some of us have concerns about such close ties with humans. Your species is young and unpredictable." Before June could respond, Ambassador Nara joined them. "Chief Rin, I see you're getting to know our guests." Rin bowed slightly and left, but not before giving June a hard look. "Please excuse Chief Rin," Nara said. "Not all Lyrians are as open to new alliances as I am." That evening, a formal dinner was held in the Grand Hall, a massive room with a ceiling that showed the stars above. Hundreds of Lyrians attended, along with the human delegation. June felt uncomfortable with so many eyes on him. Ambassador Nara stood to make an announcement. The room fell silent. "People of Lyria and honored guests from Earth," she began, her voice carrying through the hall. "For centuries we have watched humanity grow and develop. We have seen their struggles and triumphs. Now we welcome them as potential allies." Murmurs spread through the crowd. As is our custom when forming a deep alliance, a Lyrian must choose a human mate to symbolize our commitment. This bond will join our peoples not just diplomatically but biologically. June felt his heart race. The rumors were true. "As ambassador to Earth, it is my right to make the first selection," Nara continued. She looked directly at June, her eyes now a deep blue. "I have chosen Commander June Kim as my mate." The hall erupted in gasps and whispers. June stood frozen, in shock. This was not what he had expected when he took this mission. The other humans looked equally surprised. "Commander Kim, do you accept this honor?" Nara asked, her eyes fixed on his. All eyes turned to June. He knew his answer would affect the future of human-Lyrian relations. But why had she chosen him? There had to be more to this than a simple diplomatic custom. Before he could answer, the doors burst open. A group of Lyrians entered, led by a tall female with red-gold skin. "Ambassador Nara," she called out, "I challenge this selection on behalf of the Traditional Council. Humans are not worthy of such a bond, especially not with the ambassador herself." Nara's face hardened. "Military Commander Sarah, you overstep your authority. The selection has been made." June stood in stunned silence as tension filled the room. Whatever was happening, he was now at the center of it, and the fate of Earth's first alien alliance hung in the balance. The Grand Hall was silent. Everyone waited for June's response to Nara's announcement. Before he could speak, Military Commander Sarah and her followers stood in the doorway, challenging the selection. "This meeting is over," Nara said firmly. "We will continue this discussion tomorrow." She turned to June. "Commander Kim, please come with me. We need to talk privately." June looked at his team. Dr. Park nodded slightly, encouraging him to go. He followed Nara out through a side door, while Sarah watched with angry eyes. Nara led June to a small garden room with glowing plants and a pool of clear water. When they were alone, she sighed. "I apologize for the surprise, Commander. I had planned to speak with you before making the announcement." June tried to stay calm. "Ambassador, I don't understand. Why choose me? I'm not prepared for this kind of arrangement." "Please sit," Nara said, pointing to a bench made of smooth blue stone. "I will explain our customs better." June sat, keeping some distance between them. Nara's skin glowed softly in the dim light. "The Lyrians are a matriarchal society," she began. "Female leaders choose mates based on strength, intelligence, and genetic compatibility. When we form alliances with other species, this custom shows our true commitment." "But why me specifically?" June asked. Nara's eyes changed color, shifting to a warm gold. "You were chosen for many reasons. You are a leader among your people. You show courage, wisdom, and adaptability. These are qualities we value. She paused. And there are other factors I cannot discuss yet. Before June could ask more questions, the door opened. Admiral Han, the head of Earth's diplomatic corps, entered the room. Commander Kim, I need to speak with you, Admiral Han said. His face was serious. Ambassador Nara, please excuse us. Nara nodded and left the room. Admiral Han sat next to June. Sir, I didn't ask for this, June said quickly. I know, Commander, but you need to understand the situation. This is not just about you anymore. It's about Earth's first major alliance with an advanced species. June ran his hand through his hair in frustration. What am I supposed to do? Marry an alien I just met? Admiral Han shook his head. The Lyrian bonding is not exactly marriage as we understand it. It's a genetic and diplomatic bond. And yes, refusing would cause a major diplomatic incident. The Lyrians would see it as rejecting their highest honor. So I have no choice? June asked. There's always a choice, Commander. But think about what's at stake. The Lyrians have technology that could help Earth solve many problems. Their medical knowledge alone could save millions of lives. June stared at the pool of water, watching ripples move across its surface. I need time to think. You have until tomorrow, Admiral Han said, standing up. For what it's worth, I think Ambassador Nara chose well. You're one of our best officers. After Admiral Han left, June returned to the human quarters. His team was waiting for him. What happened? Lieutenant Day asked. June explained his conversations with Nara and Admiral Han. Dr. Park listened carefully. From my research, Dr. Park said, Lyrian bonding ceremonies involve a genetic exchange that creates a permanent link between mates. It's considered sacred in their culture. But why would they want to mix with human DNA? Lieutenant Day asked. They're more advanced than us in every way. Dr. Park shrugged. That's what doesn't make sense. There must be something about humans they need or want. The next morning, June met with Nara for what she called cultural exchange, a series of lessons about Lyrian customs before the bonding ceremony. They walked through a large garden dome with plants from both Earth and Lyria. Our society values strength and resilience, Nara explained. For thousands of years, we have used genetic engineering to improve ourselves. We are stronger, smarter, and live longer than our ancestors. That sounds like progress, June said. Nara stopped walking and turned to him. Progress has costs, Commander. Everything does. As they continued through the garden, Nara showed June images of Lyrian history on a small device. He saw how they had evolved and changed themselves over centuries. We chose our path carefully, she said, but now we are at a crossroads. What do you mean? June asked. Nara seemed about to answer when Security Chief Rin approached with 2 guards. Ambassador Nara, the Council requests your presence immediately, Rin said coldly. Very well, Nara replied. She turned to June. Please return to your quarters, we will continue later. As June walked back, he took a wrong turn and found himself in an empty corridor. He heard voices from a room nearby and recognized Commander Sarah's voice. He stopped to listen. The ambassador is making a mistake, Sarah said. Humans are primitive and violent. Their DNA will weaken us. But the science director says we have no choice. Another voice replied. The decline is accelerating. Without new genetic material, our species faces extinction within 3 generations. There must be another solution, Sarah insisted. The human doesn't even know the truth about why he was chosen, June backed away quietly. The Lyrians were hiding something important. There was more to Nara's choice than honor or alliance. His people needed to know. He found Dr. Park in the science lab, working with some Lyrian equipment. Dr. Park, I need your help, June said quietly. I need to learn more about Lyrian biology. What's wrong, Commander? She asked, seeing his serious expression. I overheard something. The Lyrians need human DNA. They mentioned a decline and extinction. Dr. Park looked shocked. That would explain a lot. Let me see what I can find out. Later that day, Nara took June to a beautiful cliff overlooking the Lyrian capital city. The 3 moons were visible in the sky despite the daylight. "In 3 days, the moons will align," Nara said. "That is when bonding ceremonies traditionally take place." "Nara," June said, using her name without her title for the first time. "I need to know the truth. Why did you really choose me? What do the Lyrians want from humans?" Nara's skin changed color slightly, showing her emotion. "You are very direct, Commander Kim." "Please," June said. "If I'm going to agree to this, I deserve to know everything." Nara was quiet for a long moment. "You're right," she finally said. "It's time you knew the truth about my people and why we need humans." She took a deep breath. "The truth is shocking, even to many Lyrians." "Tell me," June insisted. Nara's eyes met his, now a deep and serious blue. "My people are dying, Commander. And you humans may be our only hope for survival." Before she could explain further, they heard shouts behind them. Commander Sarah approached with 6 armed guards. "Ambassador Nara, you are ordered to step away from the human," Sarah commanded. "The council has voted. The bonding ceremony is cancelled." Nara stood tall, her skin glowing brighter with anger. "On what grounds?" "Treason," Sarah said with a cold smile. "For planning to reveal classified information to an outsider." The guards moved toward June with weapons raised. What had he gotten himself into? And what secret were the Lyrians hiding that was worth killing to protect? June stood frozen as Commander Sarah's guards approached with weapons pointed at him. Nara stepped in front of him protectively. "This is a diplomatic incident, Commander Sarah," Nara said firmly. "You have no authority to arrest an Earth representative." "I have authority from the High Council," Sarah replied. "Step aside, Ambassador." Suddenly, Science Director Tay appeared with his own guards. "Stop this at once," he commanded. "The Council has made no such decision." The 2 groups of guards faced each other. June could feel the tension in the air. Commander Sarah's face showed anger, but she lowered her weapon. "This isn't over," she warned before leaving with her guards. Science Director Tay turned to Nara. "Ambassador, the Council wants to see you and Commander Kim immediately." June and Nara followed Director Tay to the Council chambers, a large circular room with 5 Lyrians seated at a high table. They looked older than the other Lyrians June had seen, their skin glowing with a softer light. "Ambassador Nara," spoke the center figure, "explain your actions." "High Elder," Nara replied respectfully. "I was about to explain to Commander Kim why he was chosen. He deserves to know the truth before the bonding ceremony." The High Elder nodded slowly. "Perhaps it is time for truth. Commander Kim, what you are about to learn is known only to our highest leaders." June looked at each council member, then at Nara. "I'm listening." The High Elder gestured to Science Director Tay, who activated a large screen showing Lyrian DNA sequences. "Commander Kim," Director Tay began, "the Lyrians have been genetically engineering ourselves for thousands of years. We made ourselves stronger, smarter, more resistant to disease. We thought we were improving our species." The screen changed to show more recent DNA samples. Even June could see the differences. "But about 200 years ago we noticed problems," Director Tay continued. "Our immune systems began to weaken. Our birth rates declined. Despite our advanced technology, we could not stop the deterioration." Nara stepped forward. "We discovered that in our quest for perfection we lost something essential: genetic diversity. The very thing that makes a species adaptable and resilient. And that's where humans come in," June said, beginning to understand. "Yes," Nara confirmed. "Humans have remarkable genetic diversity. Your species has faced countless diseases, environmental changes and challenges, and you've adapted naturally. But why choose me specifically?" June asked. Director Tay changed the screen again, showing June's DNA sequence alongside Lyrian DNA. "Your genetic makeup contains markers that are particularly compatible with Lyrian DNA. You carry natural immunity to diseases similar to those now threatening our people." June felt overwhelmed. "So I'm not just a diplomatic symbol, I'm genetic material." "You are much more than that," Nara said quickly. Yes, your genetics are valuable, but we chose you for your character as well. The bonding is both biological and personal. The High Elder spoke again. Commander Kim, our species is dying. Within 3 generations, the Lyrians could become extinct. Our technology cannot save us, but you humans might. Why keep this secret? June asked. Why not just ask Earth for help? Pride, said the High Elder simply. How could we admit to humans, a younger, less advanced species, that we need you? Many Lyrians, like Commander Sarah, would rather die than admit our perfect society has failed. June thought about everything he had learned. I need to speak with my team. Back at the human quarters, June explained the situation to Admiral Han and his team. Dr. Park had already discovered some of the truth through her research. The Lyrians are basically suffering from a genetic bottleneck effect, Dr. Park explained. They engineered themselves into a corner, with too little genetic variation to adapt to new threats. So what do we do? Lieutenant Day asked. Admiral Han looked at June. This changes everything. It's not just a diplomatic alliance anymore. We could save an entire species. Or we could give them what they need and create dependency, June pointed out. What happens when they need more human genetic material? We need guarantees, Admiral Han decided. A fair exchange. Their technology for our help. Later that day, as June walked through the Lyrian gardens thinking about his decision, he was approached by a young Lyrian female. Commander Kim, she said shyly. I am Mira. I wanted to thank you. Thank me? For what? June asked. I am sick with the decline, she explained, showing him her arm where the glow was fading. Many young Lyrians are. If you help us, children like me might live. June felt his heart soften. This was about more than politics or pride. Real lives were at stake. When Mira left, Commander Sarah emerged from behind a tree. June tensed, ready for another confrontation. You know the truth now, Sarah said, her voice less hostile than before. Yes, June replied. I know your people are dying. And you think humans can save us, Sarah said with a hint of bitterness. Do you know what it means to ask for help from a species we once considered primitive? Sometimes strength is knowing when to ask for help, June said. Sarah was quiet for a moment. My sister died from the decline last year. She was a scientist working on a cure. She looked directly at June. I don't like needing humans, but I hate watching my people die even more. With that, she walked away, leaving June with a new understanding of her opposition. That evening, Nara invited June to her private quarters. The room was simple but beautiful, with plants and softly glowing crystals. Have you made your decision? She asked. I have questions first, June said. If I agree to this bonding, what exactly happens? Will I stay here forever? Will I have children with you? Nara smiled gently. The bonding is primarily a genetic exchange. Your DNA will be combined with mine to create templates for healing our people. It does not require you to stay forever, though you would always be welcome. And children? June asked. Possible, but not immediate, Nara replied. Any children would be raised knowing both cultures. June nodded, thinking. The truth is spreading among your people. How are they taking it? With shock, anger, and fear, Nara admitted. Our society is built on the belief that we are perfect. Learning we engineered our own extinction is difficult to accept. And what about you? June asked. Did you choose me only for my genetics? Nara's skin flushed a deeper blue. I chose you because your file showed a man of honor and courage. Meeting you confirmed this. She paused. The genetic compatibility was necessary, but my choice was personal as well. Before June could respond, alarms began to sound throughout the building. A Lyrian guard rushed in. Ambassador, Commander, the medical center is under attack. Commander Sarah and her followers are trying to destroy the research on human Lyrian genetic compatibility. Nara's face showed horror. If they succeed, we lose our last hope. June stood up quickly. Then we need to stop them. Now. As they rushed toward the medical center, June realized the truth had changed everything. This wasn't just about diplomacy anymore. It was about survival, and whether humanity's supposed primitive genetics could save an advanced civilization that had engineered itself to the brink of extinction. June and Nara ran through the crystal hallways toward the medical center. Guards and civilians moved in all directions as alarms sounded. When they arrived, they found the entrance blocked by Commander Sarah's followers. "We need to get inside," Nara said urgently. "Director Tay and the human doctors are in there." June touched the communication device on his wrist. "Lieutenant Day, this is Commander Kim. We have an emergency at the medical center. Bring the team immediately." They waited, nearby, watching as more of Sarah's followers arrived. Soon June's team appeared, led by Lieutenant Day and Dr. Park. "What's the situation?" Admiral Han asked as they joined June and Nara. "Commander Sarah is trying to destroy the research," June explained. "We need to get inside." Dr. Park moved forward. "I have an idea. Ambassador Nara, is there another way into the medical center?" "There's a service entrance on the lower level," Nara replied. "Good. Lieutenant Day and I can go that way while you create a distraction at the main entrance." They split up, with June, Nara, and Admiral Han approaching the main doors while Dr. Park and Lieutenant Day headed for the lower level. "Commander Sarah," Nara called out, "in the name of the High Council, I order you to stand down." Sarah turned, her red gold skin glowing brightly with emotion. "We don't need humans to save us. We can find our own solution." "There is no other solution," Nara argued. "We've tried for decades. Our best scientists have failed." "Then perhaps we deserve our fate," Sarah replied bitterly. While they talked, June noticed something odd. Some of Sarah's followers were coughing, their skin losing its natural glow. They looked sick. "Sarah," June said, stepping forward, "your people are ill. Look at them." Sarah glanced at her followers, concern crossing her face. "It's the decline," Nara explained. "It's spreading faster than we predicted. Some of your followers are already showing symptoms." One of Sarah's guards collapsed suddenly. Others rushed to help him, their weapons forgotten. "Get him inside," ordered Medical Officer Jin, who had appeared from a side corridor. "The decline is accelerating. We need to act now." Sarah hesitated, torn between her pride and the obvious suffering of her people. At that moment, Dr. Park and Lieutenant Day emerged from inside the medical center with Science Director Tay. "We secured the research," Dr. Park announced. "But there's a bigger problem. Director Tay says a new variant of the decline has appeared. It's affecting the respiratory system." Director Tay nodded grimly. "It's spreading rapidly. We've detected cases throughout the city." Sarah looked at her fallen guard, then at June. "Is this a trick to force us to accept human help?" "No trick," Director Tay replied. "See for yourself." He handed Sarah a medical scanner. She checked the readings and her face paled. "How many are infected?" she asked quietly. "Thousands already," Director Tay answered, "and it's spreading." June turned to Dr. Park. "Can you help them?" "Maybe," Dr. Park said, "but I'll need access to the human genetic markers they've identified in you, Commander, and I'll need their advanced medical equipment." Sarah lowered her weapon completely. "Do what you must." Inside the medical center, human and Lyrian scientists worked together frantically. Dr. Park and Medical Officer Jin led the team, combining human medical knowledge with Lyrian technology. June allowed them to take blood samples and genetic material from him. He watched as the scientists worked, amazed by how quickly humans and Lyrians adapted to working together. "It's fascinating," Admiral Han said, standing beside June. 2 days ago we were just making first contact. Now we're helping save their species." "Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology," June replied. "It's our adaptability. We've survived countless diseases and challenges by changing and evolving naturally." After hours of work, Dr. Park approached June and Nara with news. "We've developed a treatment," she explained. "Using Commander Kim's genetic material, we've created an immune booster that should help Lyrian bodies fight the decline." "Will it work?" Nara asked anxiously. We've tested it on cellular samples, Dr. Park replied. It looks promising, but we need to try it on actual patients. The first volunteers were Sarah's followers who had fallen ill. The treatment was administered, and everyone waited anxiously for results. June sat with Nara in a quiet corner of the medical center. I've made my decision, he told her. I'll agree to the bonding ceremony. Nara's skin brightened with emotion. Thank you, June. You're saving my people. There's one condition, June added. This has to be a true alliance. Earth helps Lyria, and Lyria helps Earth, equal partners. I agree, Nara said. The High Council will as well. 3 hours later, Medical Officer Jin rushed over with news. The treatment is working. The patient's cellular deterioration has stopped, and their immune systems are responding. The room filled with cheers from both humans and Lyrians. Director Tay started organizing the production of more treatment doses for the entire population. Commander Sarah approached June, her face solemn. I was wrong about humans, she admitted. I thought needing help made us weak. But perhaps knowing when to accept help is its own kind of strength. Our differences make us stronger together, June replied. 2 days later, as the treatment was distributed across the Lyrian world, the bonding ceremony was held under the light of the 3 aligned moons. June and Nara stood before the High Council and representatives from both worlds. The ceremony was simple but beautiful. June and Nara exchanged small vials of blood, symbolizing the genetic exchange that would help save the Lyrian people. Their hands were bound together with a glowing cord. 2 species now joined in blood and purpose, the High Elder announced. May this bond bring strength to both our peoples. After the ceremony, Admiral Han approached June with a smile. Congratulations, Commander, you've made history today. What happens now? June asked. Now the real work begins, Admiral Han replied. Cultural exchanges, technology sharing, medical research. Earth is sending more scientists and diplomats next month. June looked at Nara, who was speaking with the High Council. And what about me? That's your choice, Admiral Han said. You can return to Earth as our ambassador, or stay here with Nara. Either way, you'll be the bridge between our worlds. 1 year later, June stood on the same balcony, where he had first arrived on Lyria. Now instead of 1 human ship, there were dozens. Human scientists, teachers, and diplomats had come to learn and share with the Lyrians. Nara joined him, her skin glowing healthily. The treatment had worked. The decline was being reversed across the Lyrian population. The first human Lyrian. Children will be born next month, she told him. They carry the best of both species, Lyrian intelligence and human adaptability. Did you know this would happen? June asked. When you chose me, did you know we would save your people? Nara smiled. Our predictive technology suggested it was possible. But I chose you because I saw something in you that my people had lost. The ability to face the unknown without fear. June looked out at the ships from Earth, then at the Lyrian city beyond. 2 worlds, once separate, now connected by an unlikely bond. Sometimes, he said, what seems like weakness can be the greatest strength of all.